I'm CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I live in the real world. I mean, everybody has to have a job, right? Mine is CS, customer service. You know, solutions, relationships, and keeping my team motivated to keep a constant connection with each and every guest who has chosen to stop into our day at that location. Episode number 73, hip surgery, refrigeration down, and is he drunk or sick? This is C.T.C.S.
Transition walk, day number 1 of 4. It's going to be a journey this week. Big journey. It's been a week of journeys anyway. My wife had hip replacement surgery, so, you've reshuffled your life several times throughout the week, and you struggle with the idea that, hey, look, I've got to go be in CS, and you've got to put on the big boy pants and realize that you're not the only one that's going through this kind of a mess, and that's why I do a transition walk, and I invite you to do the same too. I don't know if I've talked about this or not, about how going in to see us today is getting back to a normal life. The past 3 days have just been just havoc is what they've been because of changes in my personal life. And so in my writing, I said that you got to go to your normal. You got to go. That's where you're going to find your security and your comfort. So I'm trying to turn this into a positive here. I got to get back into my normal as I walk into the store. I was with a radio jock last night at a movie promotion, and I was telling him that I wish that all radio people would spend some time working at a grocery store. And he kind of looked at me and he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, to be with your community, to be with them every day, to know them by their first name instead of just getting out there and doing a shout out on a 14-second intro of a song. And he goes, "You work at a grocery store?" And I go, "Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea." And here's one of the reasons why I say that. Mr. Suarez, he was the guy that did my wife and I's wedding cake 30 years ago. He and I just had the most brilliant conversation. Whereas if I were on the radio, I'm just another voice. Here, it's like, it's community. It's one-on-one. It's learning about each other and building together. Just got word of a possible theft going on right now. A middle-aged African-American man who's brought in about 5 or 6 bags with him that are empty. So we're going to keep an eye on him and find out what's going on. The way that you approach the gentleman is you don't go up and start making accusations. You go up and you have a conversation. "Hey, how you doing today, man? It's been a couple of days since I've seen you. What you been up to?" So, it's going to be rain in the forecast. I mean, what are you going to prepare for it? So you engage them in a conversation to get them to understand that, we're just friendly. We just happen to work here. I'm not accusing you of anything. But you know what? You come in with 6 empty bags and you go over to the meat counter and it's like, oh boy, here we go. So, but that's what we did, is that we basically engaged in a conversation and treated him with respect, a lot of it. Just learned a fancy drinking trick from a coworker that if you drink a lot of alcohol and you need to get rid of your buzz very quickly, you are to eat a stick of butter. What? Butter? Okay, so I want you to research that. Butter and alcohol. See what the connection is and then write about it. So many new energy power drinks. I'm looking at Prime right now. This is the one that the young adults are coming in and craving. I mean, they grab this stuff up big time. So when it's put up on the shelves, I guarantee that this will all be sold out by tonight. But Prime comes with a strawberry, watermelon, blueberry, lime. And the other one that everybody's talking about is this thing called Ghost. It's a Sour Patch raspberry, orange cream, tropical mango. Here's one that's sour watermelon. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, it's no longer about the Monster and the Red Bull anymore. I mean, this game has become competitive in the way of, okay, what can we do that's going to bring in the most? But I'll tell you, the big winner, though, is Liquid Death, which is just basically water in a can, a steel can. And that stuff, we can barely keep that on the shelf. That's like Topo Chico and things. It's like, you can barely. If you got Topo Chico, then word's going to get out that you've got it, and you'll be out of it soon. We have very kind employees. My coworkers, we really do love our community that much. But when a gentleman comes in and he's asking for money, not once, but now it's been 4 times, our coworkers have paid for him twice. And so on the 4th time, we said, look, you can't keep coming back and asking for money. So then he camped out back by the bread and milk and started asking people for money back there. And it's like, oh, man, I understand your compassion. And I said, really the greatest thing that we can give you right now is we can pray for you. And he looked at me dead in the eyes. He says, don't even waste your time. And the man is back. And this time around, he's carrying with him a pretty large attitude. you never want to call the police on anybody. You really don't, because we want to have big hearts. We want to be able to be there, support you, but there are certain rules. You cannot be in the store getting our customers upset because you're asking for money. Here's how everything played out with the gentleman in a way that it shocked us, because he had a gray bag, a duffel bag, when he came in. And the last time that we took him out of the store, he didn't take it with him. And so we're thinking, whoa, whose bag is this? And so we looked in the bag, which it still had all of its paperwork from Target. And inside were several shirts, pants, all with tags on them. It's obviously stolen merchandise from Target. And so now we had to bring in the police to get him off the premises, because he's definitely on his way to stealing something. Not every day, but every now and then, a bad day can have some humor in it. So I've known the former governor of the state of North Carolina for many years, even back before he was like a 6-time term, mayor of the city. And he's in the store today, and he's looking for the A1 steak sauce. So I guide him to the A1 steak sauce. And the funniest thing about it was, he grabs it and goes and he sees that the store brand is a lot cheaper. And in the process of making that move, he knocks over a bottle of the A1 steak sauce onto the floor, shattering all over the place. But just his reaction was so comical, because he played into it. And that's the thing about him, is that, even though most people would be stunned and they'd be embarrassed, but he played into it. I mean, he wanted to see that video. He wanted to see what his real reaction was. But my God, I needed that. And to be right there for that, it was comic relief. All right, day number 2 out of 4. Headed into CS. No transition walk today. I booked myself some late interviews. One of them was with Charlotte Rampling, who's got a brand new movie out called Juniper. Great conversation. And the next one was scheduled for 12 noon, and the actor didn't show up. No reason for me to say who it was. You just sit there and say things happen. This is the movie he's doing, premieres today, and being a part of a movie promotion company, I know what it's like on premiere day, and you're being pulled in every direction. So no transition walk today. So I'm going into the store cold. Come on, I'm not the only one that does this. How often do you go to work? You didn't warm up your thoughts. You're going in cold. Well, this is news that you definitely don't want to walk into. The C.T.C.S alarm has gone off, and I was just told refrigeration is down throughout the entire building. We've got managers running in every direction, and we've got to do whatever we can to protect everything that's inside those refrigerators right now. It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon here. I mean, now the phone system is down, so we've got refrigeration and the phone systems down, and they're trying to reboot computers, and they're on the phone at this point in time, all managers. Pretty reckless right now. The unofficial word that I got was that we had some sort of a surge, and that surge shut down the major computers, and so all of a sudden all these alarms were going off without becoming a problem. Now the phone system went down, but everything's been rebooted right now, but still we have the electronics doctor and the refrigeration doctors on the way, but right now it's the official. Man, how are you doing? I thought you walked everywhere.
I'm walking up, but not up here. I think I'm getting ice cream.
Have a great weekend. You bet. The physical fiasco with the coolers has drug on pretty much all day today. And we've had experts in here. They've had to go out and get different parts. And they've worked on the computers. They've looked on the motherboard of the compressors. And so things are finally cooling down, but still the alarms are going off even 6 hours after we've been here. We've busted 2 thefts inside 10 minutes. The first person was a blonde girl, maybe 21, 22 years old, stealing hard seltzer, and now we just had somebody try to take a 50-pound bag of dog food. Our game is on tonight, man. We're watching everybody. I don't think we're ever going to run out of first-time things. Go up to a woman, because she's bobbing her head up and down inside aisle number 2. She's standing next to bowls. It's little things that we have that are hanging out that you can buy, individual bowls. And she's licking every one of them and putting them back. And we look at her and we go, you can't do that. You've got to buy those bowls. And she goes, what do you mean? You can't lick the bowls. You can't be licking them and placing them back. So we escorted her to self-checkout, and we had her buy them right on the spot. All right, here we go. Day number 3 in CS. No transition walking again today. When your wife has replaced your hip, you find yourself doing things around the house that you've never done before, so you run out of time very quickly. This is the first time in my life that I've ever had to caretake for somebody, and so I'm just doing a lot of things. It's the real world, right? Isn't that what going to CS was all about? To take me away from a radio world that was so fake? And now that I'm dealing with this, it's like, okay, you asked to be in the real world. Live it. So 3 girls come into the store last night. Okay. 3 girls. They go straight into the bathroom, all 3. Joe has a complete fit. And so he sends Tristan down to get him out of the bathroom. She knocks on the door. Fuck you. What? The girls do, yeah. And Joe goes, that's it. You're out of here.
Wow. Were they drunk?
No, they were teenagers.
Wow.
The whole entire cheerleading squad from the nearby school comes in here, starts riding the carts inside the carts.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he had a whole conniption and was telling me he was uneasy. He goes, I'm tired of kids and I'm tired of them coming in here with backpacks.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm tired of them finding trouble. And I'm like, damn, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. What's wrong with Joe? But that must be what.
Yeah. We had 3 thefts in a row that we busted. The 4th one we didn't get, and it took the steam right out of us. It just totally wiped us out.
Yeah.
So there's a new donut that we are doing now. It's I don't even know how to pronounce this. Paczki, Paczki. I mean, you should see this chocolate ice Bavarian cream, glazed raspberry. I mean, anything to go against Krispy Kreme. I dig it. This powdered donut over here, it's powdered apple. P-A-Z or P-A-C-Z-K-I. You know I'm going to have to buy this, and we're going to have to munch it out on this podcast. Well, you never want to be in this part of the world. We have a co-worker that's in question right now. Very bright face red, eyes wide open, a lack of energy to get involved. Now, I'm hearing raspiness in his voice, and I'm saying it's allergies, and he's on allergy medicine or he's on cough medicine, and they're saying other things. People in the management says, okay, do we sit down and talk with him? Would that embarrass him too much? What do you do when you have an employee that really looks like that they're drunk on the job? The person in question was invited to take a break, 15-minute break. This is going to be one of those situations. What would you do? 15-minute break, 45 minutes later, he comes back. He has no excuse. He's just apologizing. What would you do? How are we going to handle this? Everybody seems mad at me because I don't smell the alcohol on his breath, and I've been getting up as close as you can legally. But the one thing that I've noticed about this guy is that when he talks, there's smoke coming out. And so new guy Bill goes, well, because he vapes. And I said, but wait, it wouldn't stay in his lungs that long. Is he sneaking something into those lungs? And if he is, how is he doing it? Just got to have a very important meeting about this situation that we're going through right now. And it's one of those where it's like you want to go and ask questions, but you don't want HR brought into it because, I mean, we could be absolutely 100% wrong in this situation. So the manager that's on duty right now says that he will bring it up to the higher managers about the situation. But for the rest of us in CES, what we're going to do is we're going to handle this with tremendous amounts of love and care. There will not be any till counting for this gentleman. And he is not going back into accounting to do anything back there as well. So we're doing everything we can to make him, help out with the bagging. Do not want him on the register whatsoever. And that's how we're going to close it. And we'll deal with it from in the days ahead. Day number 4, headed into CS. Kind of an interesting transition walk today. It included someone else on the walk. Someone other than Jazzy, my beautiful pointer. My reckless artist friend. Yeah, Lee, who just had hip surgery 5 days ago. Man, we were in the forest. We went a half a mile. Hip replacement surgery, and she's already doing it. She's out there walking. And so the transition is that don't let any wall stand in front of you. If you want to reach the other side, you have to make that move. All right, let's get to CS. It's almost like I'm living the research department at a radio station. When you look at the guests that we've got inside the store on a Sunday, it's the full family here with 2 point so many kids, and we've got over $300 to $400 worth of groceries in each cart. And you have to sit there, and what I do, I love to do the research. I like to see what they're buying. What is the sweets over the protein? What are they doing when it comes to veggies versus coming over here and getting some sort of processed food? So I'm doing research. It's just mind games is all it is, just to make it through the day. Binge watching by far is the greatest conversation starter. I get in more incredible conversations with our guests of what they're binge watching. And so this weekend I'm really pushing hard Hello Tomorrow, which is on Apple TV Plus. People don't have Apple TV, but yet it does convince them to take a chance on it, because this binge watch, the first 3 episodes are out, and man, it is magnetic. So those that I know that are binge watchers, I'm sitting there, we're talking about it, and they go, I've got to see this. I've got to experience it. It's not the consumer's fault. I mean, we've got signs all over the place that say buy 2, get 2 free. We have signs that say buy 1, get 1 free. We have signs that say buy 2, get 1 free. And so the consumer sees these different signs, and right away they're thinking, well, which one is it? I mean, I realize it's right there in front of them, but you know how we are. You know, it's you're there. You're so used to seeing a certain sign, and your mind already tells you, well, you know what? If you buy 2, you get 2 free. When really you're only going to get 1 free. So it's not the consumer's fault. There is just so much confusion in a grocery store these days. There's always drama. The bagger got his answer today. He wanted a raise, and they pulled him into the office, and they said no. And they explained to him it's because he doesn't work very hard. He stands around and he doesn't help out. And so today, that's exactly what he's doing. Instead of bagging, he's just standing around. And it's his way of saying, hey, look, I want to make some noise. I want to give you an update on these. I'm not going to call them donuts. I'm going to call them Pokesies. Even though it's spelled Paczki. See, that's the American way of looking at words. But today, Tomos came up to me. He's from Poland. And he says, my God, he says, these things are so big in Poland. And he says, but it's Pokesi. And they come in all different flavors. He says, after you have one of these, you will never do a Krispy Kreme ever again.
All right, that's it. Thank you for being here on this episode of C.T.C.S. You can catch them all on a podcast called The Customer Is Never Right. You can pick that up on iHeartRadio. All right, I expect to see you again.